Hey y'all, and welcome back to my channel. This is KneppwoodCottage. My name is Linda. Thank you guys so much for being here. If you're brand new, welcome, welcome. And if you're returning, welcome back. So today we're going to do a quick little tutorial, kind of a fun video, I think. I am going to make some pincushions using vintage salt cellars. So that's what our craft is going to be today. I'm going to be using some bits and bobs that I have kind of collected. Some of these pieces you'll see later on again, because I'm going to be making some kind of shabby chic handbags as well, but I'm not going to do that today. Today is one of those days where I have to be at work, and so I'm kind of rushing. So today we are going to take these really cute salt cellars that a friend gave me, and we're going to turn them into something amazing to put into the new Shopify store. And I thought you'd like to see how I'm going to make that happen. So to that end, we're going to go ahead and get started.
Okay, so as you can see, I have the different salt cellars that I was going to use for these little pin cushions. There's actually quite a few different ones, and they're all very sweet. I end up settling on the kind of low profile candle wick one, just because I thought it was so pretty and unique, and I figured it'd be a good place to start. So this chenille bedspread that I'm using, and I plan to use to make a handbag as well, is a piece that I actually purchased already cut. It looked like they had cut out all of the colored portions and left behind the white base of the chenille bedspread. Now, I have a chenille bedspread that's vintage and it's in beautiful condition, and I purchased this initially thinking that I would make a couple of throw pillows for the bed, and that just never happened. So now I'm going to repurpose it, as you see, for this little pincushion project and for probably whatever other projects I can use this piece of bedspread for. So I kind of settled on this section here that has the lumpy little balls and then the rows of chenille. Really no way to measure. I don't have a pattern. I don't feel like this is a project that requires a pattern or sewing. I actually use those little clear hair ties to wrap around the bottom of the piece after I put the fiber fill in. It's very kind of a loose project. And my thinking is that if someone purchases this and they decide they actually just want the salt cellar and they don't want to use this as a pincushion, which is always, of course, an option, then it's only going to be hot glued in there. They can just pick it apart. It's hot glue on glass, isn't very difficult to remove, and they can use it for however they want. So I finally settle on the amount of fiber fill I think will work. And then you'll see I take the little hair tie and I kind of wrap that around a couple of times. And that's what makes the little, I think it looks like a little snow cone, a little snow cone. And then I'm going to trim off all that extra fabric there. And I'm sure someone somewhere has a pattern for making these, and I'm sure it's a wonderful pattern. I don't bother. But I do decide that I need to clean up the bottom a little bit more because these salt cellars are clear, aside from that one pink one. And you see all of the mechanics behind making the piece, and that's one of the things that makes me crazy. I feel like what you use to create a piece, or however you create the piece, those are the little things that should be hidden. And because I like neat and tidy, and so I'm looking at this and it's not as neat and tidy as I would like once you flip it over. I mean, it looks okay. It is what it is. It serves a purpose, but wasn't loving that. So then I thought, oh, well, I have all these little doilies. I could try that. I thought about this one. I even take the time to trim off a little extra tails off of this piece, and I end up not using it because I decided that I really did not love the beige and blue with that stark white snow cone. So I end up just not using it, but I trimmed it up anyway, because why not? So still thinking about it, still looking at it, and it did cover up a lot of what I thought was the pretty detail of the candle wick portion of the on the rim there, so I didn't like that either. And then I found this little heart one, and the heart one was nice because once I put it in, it becomes kind of like almost like a, what are they called, trefoils, kind of a flower petal thing, which I thought was cute with little snow cone. And it didn't cover up too much of the candle wick, which I thought was also good. But it does serve the purpose. It looks much tidier on the bottom, and that's what I was going for, with something pretty and not kind of odd. Now, if you do this in like a teacup, or one of the ones I had done before was in a Jello mold, like a vintage aluminum Jello mold, and it had, so it looked like kind of like a cupcake, I guess, but I used some really beautiful vintage fabric that I had, and it came out really lovely. But then Hagrid ate it, so there's that. But anyhow, so if you use like a normal, like I would say a teacup or like that Jello mold, you don't have to worry so much about how the base is gonna look underneath. But in this case, I really wanted it to be neat and tidy and pretty, and so I did try the other doily. It just covered too much of the candle wick. Was not loving that. So here we are back to the little heart-shaped one, and that's basically what I settled on. And I think it came out really cute. And you know, it's nice to be able to make something that's useful and decorative and has that little bit of vintage flair to it, because I think repurposing things is the epitome of recycling, but also being sustainable and thoughtful and just living with intention. And I think that's definitely one of the things that I want for this channel, is to kind of focus on repurposing, remaking, and that whole, you know, kind of slower pace lifestyle, and definitely being a lot more intentional in how we are living, just appreciating the things that we have. So anyway, so there's my little soapbox for the day. So I just put a little bit of hot glue in here. I didn't want, you know, just big globs of hot glue showing, but also, like I said, if, you know, someone gets this and they decide that, you know, they would like to remove the doily and the little snow cone of fabric there, that they have that option. And I thought it came out really pretty. Just a couple little dabs here and there. Put a little more in the center. And just kind of, you know, set the little snow cone down inside of it. And it came out really cute. And, you know, underneath it still looks really pretty. And then I had some pins here because this is also the table where I do all of my sewing, so please forgive all of the, that was a bent pin and it was bothering me. But please forgive all of the cluttery stuff you see on the table. But isn't that sweet? And if you love vintage items and that kind of cottagecore aesthetic, I think this would be perfect. So that's what I'm going to be working on, is making some more of these little pin cushions, and I will be putting them into the Shopify. I need to get everything uploaded into Shopify. I think I've gotten the website mostly nailed down, hopefully, and I cannot wait to launch. So I hope you enjoyed the little craft, and I hope you enjoyed the video. Let me know if you guys make any of these, or if there's any other ideas you have. And as always, thank you so much for being here. And until next time, love ya. Bye.